Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. How are you guys doing? And can you hear me, just to make sure?
Testing, test. Hi, Mark.
No fear, this is only a test. This is only a simulation.
Yeah, it's just a simulation. Everything is for entertainment purposes and nothing is coincidental? Or everything's coincidental?
Everything's coincidental.
And everything's coincidental. Hi, Grizzly. Roar!
Ooh. Another big one. Bigger.
I don't want to hurt their ears.
You can do it.
Arrgh!
Oh, that was a different one. Hey, Sweetgrass, Shelley Jones, Morningstar, Space River News, Lady Yolanda, good to see you, Brother Mark. Elena, good to see you. Casual Preparedness, hello from the Gulf Coast of Alabama. Well, we can't talk about that over here. So, yeah, there's so much going on, guys. So much going on. Christine MacArthur, Azaduzaman, good to see you, brother. Could be dreaming. We probably are. This is but a dream.
Arrgh.
Mercy Anonymous, D. Jackson, ICO. Good. I'm glad you guys could hear me. Tim Langley. Oh, Tim says, wow, the presidential seal and White House flag have returned. Curious.
Super interesting.
Hey there, Mark Perez. Kayla, good to see you. Casual, Rick, Zeke from Canada. Hey, brother.
Hi, you guys. Thanks for showing up on the second channel. We're getting great views, great growth. Can you just please double check and make sure you're subbed to the second channel, though?
Ashley, hey from Georgia. Dawn. Hey, well, welcome aboard, Dawn. California in the house. Kayla's roaring. Mike's random videos. We're doing pretty good today. It just flew by. Actually, today we were planning originally on just focusing on working out in the dirt. And then, I don't know, just felt like instead, let's just see what's happening in the world. And it's been a crazy day, guys. It's been really a crazy day. So much stuff going on.
Crazy times. A really good time to, I don't know, get to know yourself.
Speaking of crazy Coyote in the house.
Hey, Crazy Coyote.
Karen says it's a nightmare, yeah, and Jules is in Tennessee, and she's in the house too. We're really going through it now, without a doubt. Like I had said before, if you had to question me, are we in the biblical time period of the tribulation? I guess you could say so. It feels like it, doesn't it not? We're seeing all this stuff happening.
Yeah, we are, and the creepy thing about it is, well, for me anyway, is this I'm seeing this comet come in.
Yeah, the comet's crazy. I feel now, the way everything's going, is this the comet of Nostradamus? It feels like it. Is this perhaps Blue Kachina? It feels like it could be. It very well may be. It's going to be really curious. Christine asked if we're feeling shaky over here. We've been feeling, really it feels more like a lot more blasts. Yeah. More like explosions and bombs, honestly, than anything. I think we're a little too far south to have felt the Idaho one. But Cindy's brother is, I don't know, a couple 100 miles away from there. And what did he say?
Well, he said it really rattled the house pretty good. And also my sister is a couple 100 miles from him, up in northern Nevada, or is it southern? Well, she's up there anyway, near my brother in Idaho, and she felt the rattle too.
And then Ryan, you remember Ryan, we asked for help from anybody that could for him and his family of 8. They're right over there by Yellowstone, and he said he felt it really good. It was a good, strong shake. The kids came running to him and said, what's going on?
Yeah.
I didn't see Ryan in the house yet. But so they felt it over there by Yellowstone. They felt it in northern Nevada. They felt it in, right around Boise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did. And it was a good shaker, too. And then they upgraded it.
Yeah, they upgraded it to 6.0 now.
No, 6.5.
I'm sorry, 6.5.
Yeah.
6.5.
And then the biggest one ever in that area was 6.9, I believe.
There we go, right there. So the 1983 Bora Peak earthquake occurred on October 28th, and it measured 6.9. That's the biggest ever recorded in Idaho. So we just got a 6.5. Not too far from there, really. Not too far from there. You can see the area right here. And the one that we just got now, you can see where it is. Pretty close. Pretty close to the same as that 6.9 that happened, before. So it's 6.5. They're showing 10 kilometers, which is like your standard depth, 6.2 miles. And each time I look over here, there's another aftershock coming up. So right now we got a 3.2 there. We have a 3.4, 3.3, 4.6, 3.6, and 3.5. And don't forget, Utah was shaking, right? I mean, we had seen that over there at Great Salt Lake. Ooh, guys, you talk about the Casey predictions, and there's going to be tremendous movement through this area. And this is part of where we are. Look at, they're still swarming over there. Still swarming. And if we change this parameter, well, let's look at 30 days plus 2.5. So you can see, there's 62 quakes there. And there was that 5.7 we were talking about. There's a lot of upheaval in the West. And it's been prophesized from Casey and others as well. So it's most definitely starting. I do think that when we see the big one, it's going to be Cascadia first. And when will that be? Yeah, who knows? It might not be too long. I gotta say, I really, really, really feel that we'll see Cascadia, San Andreas, and New Madrid all before we get to the end of 2024.
I have a feeling that things are going to get really strange, but I also know in my mind we can change timelines and change outcomes and make things better than what we think, as long as we stay in it like a high vibration. This is our story. This is our thing we're driving. We are at the steering wheel together.
We are. So we got to steer this monster.
We do.
We do. And, honestly, can you share your impression about steering with the comet? A little bit.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Yeah, she gets kind of in a trance. And what she had said was, and I know that she didn't want to share all of it because she didn't want to upset people, but basically there are forces, to me, from the channeling that she was doing, sounded very much kind of like Enlil all over again. She said the comet was being steered by what we would call one of the gods, what we interpret as one of the gods, perhaps Anunnaki. And it was being steered here in order to create havoc and fulfill prophecy, basically. And however, humanity can use its intention to steer it as well. So if we could get together and we could steer the thing away, not necessarily that the comet's going to hit us, but think Mother Shipton and the Dragon's Tail. What is that comet pulling in and around it? And when we think of Mother Shipton, it's pretty clear. It's the Dragon's Tail is all the stuff that's trailing after a comet. So are we seeing Mother Shipton's, dragon? Yeah, Nicole. Well, that's where things get confused. So there are watchers too. And this is one of the things that I have been trying to decipher to the highest degree I could, because I think they have us thinking some good guys are bad guys, some bad guys are good guys. And it's all confused. It's all confused, most definitely. And, there are beings definitely controlling a lot of this situation, and they're trying to seed the negative thoughts, into us so that we manifest our own destruction is really what they are doing. And, this thing is getting huge, talking about the comet. So we talked about the quake. We know about everything going on. As far as, there's so much going on right now, obviously, with the CV-19. And that's just another whole level. I hope you guys got to check out all of the videos that we did today. I put 2 over on the first channel, and we'll put less up over there as time goes, and just trying to get as many people to come over to the second channel, and also to subscribe to Pranic as much as possible, and BitChute, just in case YouTube purges us totally. So, after 30 days, I could ask for a review to see about getting remonetized, but I won't do that because they didn't tell me which videos, but, they want a whole bunch of videos to be gone. They don't want us talking about the V word. They don't want us talking about a lot of things. And so, I'm just really going to kind of end up just letting that slide and not worry about it, and try to, survive off of everybody that's helping us over on Patreon and also on Ko-Fi. And I feel better about Ko-Fi because I've seen other channels, when they disappear off YouTube, Patreon does the same thing to them. So I feel better about Ko-Fi than I do Patreon. And, it's interesting how these corporate conglomerates have their hands on everything. But over there, one of the videos after a family member said, check out what John X did. And I've talked to him a few times. We kept saying we got to do a video together, do a live, and it just didn't manifest with our schedules. But, I could feel his anger today. And because, the family member said, John X is talking about what you've been talking about. And he's talking about the next step is a Red Dawn scenario. And I do think that's coming. My intuition says it's going to happen sometime, before the end of the year, early next year. Could happen anytime. We don't know. But, everything is going according to their plan. Remember, they wanted to shift power to China. That was their main thing, because China has the system they want the globe to have. Complete top-down. You can't call it anything but a dictatorship, really. It makes life easier for them. And so, think about how China's been praised for their handling the situation. Well, they're telling you because they want that situation for the entire world. Now, the U.S. is a problem, because the U.S. citizens have a lot of power and a lot of weapons, and it's not going to be easy. So, that's why we're going to see this. We're going to see, CV-19 hit the U.S. harder than anywhere in my gut. That's what my intuition's telling me. And then we're going to also see massive earth changes that are going to just leave us in the dark, because I, again, would lay money on the fact that we'll lose the internet, we'll lose the grid, perhaps sporadically or perhaps for a prolonged period of time, kind of any time, coming. And again, I really feel fall and heading into this winter are going to be really tough times coming up. So we have to be strong and as prepared as we can for that. And then, we have so many things that are progressing so fast. So they've already told us how they're going to do it. They've talked about these weaponry that can create these like tidal waves, 300 feet tall. And then today was kind of fun putting together the Nostradamus quatrains. That was a fun thing.
That was fun today because we were pulling up, we were doing the numerology thing and
and gematria and stuff. And, I really think that I think we have something there going. I think we're seeing a pretty clear picture of the big picture. So that's kind of cool. And then I hope you checked out the other one we did earlier today on this channel too. Very, very interesting stuff. Yeah, as Mark says, Red Dawn is coming. And, always like hoping that we could avert timelines. And I have been seeing that situation since I was, about 18, 19, I think 19. And in my visions, when I first got this, I was up in Connecticut, but I always saw I was going to be in Florida, really. And I remember being in Florida, and I was heading to Florida until something told me to drag my feet, because we wanted to really go visit friends and family there. We were going to be there January and February, and then go up into the Carolinas in March and April, and then head back here before all this happened. But something told me to wait, and then all of a sudden this thing blew out. And so I knew why. Something was telling me to wait. And thank you, Diana. It was a lot of fun doing those type of things. So this is why we had to wait. So I'm kind of hoping timelines are changed. But in my dream, I was in southwestern Florida, like around Port Charlotte to Sarasota area. And we heard that troops had landed, and they were coming up through the Everglades. And I heard that they were 20 miles away in my dream. And people were just panicked and just trying to rush away as much as possible, as like some soldiers, some military were heading down towards that area as they were heading up. But I think we're seeing signs of things, there's, I didn't really want to get into CV, here, so we don't get hammered here. But if you read the news, if you just read the news, there's talk about how it's impacting the military. And, I think, again, everything is by design. So, I think we're being softened up big time right now. And the big softening up is going to happen between what we're seeing right now and Earth changes, or what's going to look like Earth changes might not necessarily be Earth changes. But I do think Cascadia, San Andreas is going to happen pretty soon. I would say 2021, by 2021 or around 2021. I think those two will happen first, and then you'll have New Madrid. I hope Yellowstone doesn't happen, because that would be lights out for almost all of us.
It would, and I feel like a lot of things, this is like a big pimple. Sorry for the gross analogy, but like everything seriously is coming to a head. Like everything is ratcheting up just a little more each day, and that's why I keep getting the messages to be high vibration. Oh, also grounded was another message I got today. Ground and root, you guys. Ground and root. Love the mother. That's a super strong message I got through today. My feet almost went numb. It was so strong. That's one thing that we all need to do, and I do believe it strengthens her and it strengthens us for things that we might be coming to face.
Yeah, most definitely. And it wasn't just the Everglades, but also up through Mexico and down through Canada. And there's been rumors of, Russian troops in Canada and up in Alaska forever. So, we will see. We will see. So we need to be as prepared as possible, and we need to focus too. Definitely. Now, the comet situation is pretty wild. And here you see Comet 5 times the size of Jupiter is set up to light up the night skies in April, and it could be brighter than Venus. And we're talking about Comet Atlas. It's currently in Mars's orbit. It's on its way towards the sun, getting brighter. And if it doesn't break up, it'll reach its closest point to the sun by the end of May.
Wow.
Yeah, so a massive comet. Now, when they say that, it's all the gases that are getting excited as it gets closer to the sun. They're heating up. At least that's what we're told. And, for all we know, it could be a mothership. How would we really know? I mean, we really wouldn't. We just go by what the scientists say. And, the scientists have been right 100% of the time, haven't they? Haven't they always been right and given us a straight answer?
Oh, indeed. They're always right. They always give us straight answers, and science backs up everything.
Well, and of course being funded by so many wonderful agencies that have given us such truth all the time, like the Smithsonian,
Oh,
and
we know They're all about being good and honest and pure and right.
Yeah, so, in order to, clear up some of the misconceptions we might have had about giants and stuff, they, whenever possible, would confiscate the bones and dump them in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah, it's because they love us so much, they don't want us to be enlightened.
Yes, exactly. So, anyway, this, they don't know how big the rocky core is, but it's appearing already to be about half the size of the sun. So this is going to be significant. They're already saying it's probably going to be the comet of a generation, and staggering diameter of 447,387 miles, 447,000, right, and change. The Earth's diameter is 7,917. So that's a big difference. And the sun's diameter is 865,370 miles. And Jupiter, our biggest planet's diameter is 86,881. So this is going to appear to be enormous. And, all you guys that aren't old enough to remember Hayutaki and the one that followed it, now my mind is escaping me there, it was really cool. I mean, it was just so cool to see that thing up in the sky and this long tail. So they could be really spectacular, and you could just, for me, it just makes you just sort of stand and stare, or sit and stare.
Wow, it says it isn't unusual for a comet to grow so large as they spew prodigious amounts of gas and dust into space. Oh my gosh.
So they could. Yeah, Comet Holmes partially exploded, and for a while it had an atmosphere even larger than the sun. But this is still quite a bit of ways. So as it gets closer, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, I asked Cindy, I said, is that blue or is that green? And she said, it's kind of teal. So I don't know about teal Kachina, but if this gets a little bit more blue, you got to wonder if this is what they saw, blue Kachina.
You do. You got to wonder, and all these things we've been told all of our lives, all these stories, and the glyphs they have on some of the rocks over there in Arizona about things that we're seeing in the sky. And I've seen glyphs about Venus and how it looked being really bright and shiny. It's like some people have seen this before and they tried to tell us on rocks, and we've always been pointed away from all that information. And it feels like it might be coming back around, and all of these things are lining up and making sense now.
It is. It's all coming together, unfortunately or fortunately. I mean, we're here for a reason. I think everybody that's like a light worker, starseed, somebody that truly has love in their heart, and are all here just basically to raise consciousness and to help other people out in these times so they could pull up and out of it. Because we have to hold the highest vibe possible. We can't go down into the gutter. We can't get ourselves distracted. As much as, it can rightfully get us angered at what is being done to us, through everything that we see, the skies, the mandatory, where I'm going. We're here basically as, starseeds and light workers to keep it up, because people can get pulled down. And then if we're pulled down, it's really a dangerous situation. We're really at risk there.
It is. So we have to be good to ourselves. We need to be honest in our heart. We need, if karma is a thing, I've heard that go back and forth. We want the good kind, we want to wish our fellow man well. We want to be good to people. Be the best human being you can possibly be, because I do really believe that somehow, some way that steers things in our favor.
Yeah, most definitely. So this comet could be the one. I mean, this really could be Blue Kachina. It could be the comet of Nostradamus. As we were talking about the quatrains, it's so easy to see those quatrains right now. So easy to see them. And as they say, the closest to its approach will be 72 million miles away from our planet. So, not super close, but debris field, and it's, as Mother Shipton says, it's the tail of the comet. So, we have to be aware of that. And, we saw that meteorite strike down in Africa. That was massive, massive.
And that's the one I was wondering, maybe that's the one I saw. But it's really hard. You don't want to share the wrong information, because the main information that I am getting told is to raise vibrations, raise vibrations, raise vibrations. And it's like a broken record in my head. And sorry, you guys, I hope you don't get sick of hearing it, but I'm going to pass on what I get to you guys, because we're all, I don't know, we're all like the family core. Everybody that's here right now are all we're really close, and we understand each other, and we get it. And we're all going through a very similar thing. Everything is going to be okay. I mean, I don't think it's contingent upon anything, but yeah, got to keep that vibe high, you guys.
It's really the most important thing. And the earth changes roll on. You see a 100-year flood in Cleveland, Ohio. This is all, unfortunately par for the course where we are right now. Cuyahoga River reached 21.6 feet. Major flood stage, seventh highest on record. And you had people that had to be rescued over there as well. And Hawaii, there you go. Almost 80 inches recorded this month. More severe flooding. Now we're going to get into the spring flooding. So everything is just adding up. It's just, one thing on top of the other. And you see 127 injured, 1 dead. Landslide derails a train over in Hunan, China. And we have a rainfall. I was going to say the waterfall. That's actually Ecuador's tallest waterfall. It just disappeared. These are massive earth changes going on right now. Massive. And as I say that, it felt a little bit of a shimmy. There's been a lot of shaking going on out this way for sure. But, honestly, to me, it really feels more like underground bombs or bombs.
Yeah, it feels like there could be some kind of a war going on down there.
It really does. Or blasting or something, because I've felt some earthquakes, but this feels different. This feels more like a bombing going on. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, maybe they're doing more test runs, or maybe they are fighting reptilians underground. Maybe. Interesting. So, yeah, this was a beautiful and the tallest waterfall in Ecuador, and it's gone right now. Water's dropping 490 feet. The river and the falls flowed through a thick chunk of cloud forest right at the intersection of the Andes Mountains and the Amazon Basin. And then it disappeared after a huge sinkhole appeared and changed the course of the water. Pretty wild stuff. I mean, the changes that are happening now, I think we're going to an all-new level, guys. We are going to an all-new level. We're going to start seeing the bigger ones happening, I think, now.
I think so. Things are, I think, I know this, can we even say the CV?
Just leave it at
that. So the multifaceted thing that's happening in a way makes me wonder, do they know more than what they're saying? Are they helping us in a way, in a really weird, strange way, to prepare to be kind of, I don't know, locked up for a little while? Maybe there is more coming in than what we're being told. And they just don't want they don't want to scare us, and they don't want to panic us and stuff. So maybe the best way they're kind of telling everybody, just get ready. And I know a couple of you have said in there that the president said the next 2 weeks is going to be probably the hardest 2 weeks on Americans, which is curious.
But he made a comment, too, supposedly about a bright flash. Does anybody remember that?
Did anybody hear that comment at all? We've been looking for it. Someone said that on the phone, and we can't get any confirmation about him saying that he saw a bright flash, and I guess someone took the mic away from him. That's what we were told.
Really?
Yeah, somebody took the mic.
We got to find that.
We got to find it, guys.
So I think, maybe they know that there's going to be debris coming in through this stuff. Or maybe he's referring to an EMP, and what's going to happen with that Red Dawn scenario. He's made some super, super curious statements. Some just like, obviously if you've been listening to them. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, exactly. 6 strings. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And we got landslides damaging homes, and this is in India, in Rambam, Jammu, and Kashmir. 28 houses, it's every day now. It's almost like I think people just say, oh, okay, yeah, another landslide. It feels like it because there's so many of them. Oh, another flood. Yep. And here we see increased activity at Stromboli volcano. Lava reaches the coastline. This is over at Italy. Remember Etna and Pele. That was what Casey said. When they're going concurrently, then we know to look to California and look to Japan. So, we're getting into the thick of things now. Sandstorms engulf parts of the Middle East. This has been going on. We still have the locust problem going on as well. Look at the skies. Talk about ominous. It's ominous. It's pretty eerie. Yeah. We've seen some wild clouds lately, too. And we have cold outbreak intensifying while spreading across East Central Europe. And it's been pretty chilly here as well, more than it should be. And today looked wonderful out, and we decided to work all day inside. But today looks spectacular out. It really was beautiful out there. So we have unusual weather patterns. That's all part of this. And, there's grass growing in the desert. Like, everybody that's been in the desert for years makes comment of it and says, yeah, I've never seen grass growing here like this. It's just crazy. So you have a lot of snow downcoming still in a lot of Europe. December 31st? Nope. It's a winter morning in spring, March 31st, and that's in Slovenia. As the temps getting pretty cold, all due to polar vortexes movement. But as we know, we're in a magnetic pole reversal as well. We got everything going. Talk about living at exciting times.
It is. We're so lucky. We're getting these upgrades. We're leveling up as human beings in this video game, and we get to feel it, see it, experience it. It's okay if our, blood family doesn't understand us. That's okay. We understand us.
And we're talking about the changes in Antarctica and what that's going to unleash. And eventually, we might see like gigantic statues unearthed, to the Anunnaki or something. Or Atlanteans, perhaps one and the same. And we see here, Denman Glacier is sinking into the world's deepest canyon. And this glacier could raise sea level by 5 feet. So that would be significant impact on the coastline. The glaciers of Antarctica are melting at unprecedented rates, and most of us believe that that's because of volcanic activity underneath. And a giant canyon on the continent's rocky underbelly could make matters much, much worse. So, in a study published March 23rd in Journal Geophysical Research Letters, researchers used more than 20 years of satellite data to monitor the ice in Denman Glacier, a 12-mile wide stream of ice in East Antarctica. Okay, that's bad news. West Antarctica, we know, is melting very quick. That's all due to volcanoes, pretty much. East Antarctica hasn't been melting. West Antarctica, if it all went, it would not be a good situation. If East Antarctica went, it would be devastation. There's just way more ice on the eastern side, way, way more. That could lead to what Casey said with Northern Europe being changed in a twinkling of an eye, as that would release a lot of sea level increase, a lot. So, yeah, Denman's Glacier western flank flows over the deepest known land canyon on Earth, plunging at least 11,000 feet below sea level. Right now, that canyon, known as Denman's Trough, is mostly cut off from the sea thanks to all the glacial ice piled inside and atop the ravine. However, as the glacier's edge continues to retreat farther and farther down the slope, warm ocean water can pour into the canyon, battering bigger and bigger sections of the glacier and gradually turning it into a giant bowl of meltwater with nowhere else to go. This scenario, researchers wrote, could kick off a runaway feedback loop of melt that ultimately returns all of it into the sea, risking nearly 5 feet of global sea level rise. So that would be a big, big change in our world for sure.
So a 5 feet sea level rise, if that did happen, what would that...
Well, Miami would be underwater. A lot of the coastal cities would be totally underwater. So much of Indonesia, like Jakarta, is sinking as it is. And that's a massive city. I forget. Jakarta, I think, has like 20 million people. So, you got major, major areas that are going to be underwater tremendously.
It would be pretty bad then. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So there's lots of huge Earth changes to go. And in these times, this is out of insteading how to support local farmers and local businesses during social distancing. It's always good to support your local farmers as much as possible, and obviously local businesses. I would just feel better, honestly, getting fruit and veggies if you can, and you have some locals around you that are growing. Maybe reach out to them instead of going into Walmart. Into Costco. Probably, perhaps safer as far as not going into a huge store where thousands of people are going in there every single day. And, just one possibility. Why not support the locals? Why not get to know them directly? Instead of, buying food that has touched so many different hands getting to you. And then also just, the fact that it's locally grown, it's a win-win situation. So something to think about. Maybe we could get a few people thinking in those terms, and maybe it'll help you guys nutritionally, help you financially, and also maybe even save a couple of lives at the same time.
Well, maybe, since we do have some go-getters here, maybe you guys, if you have a little patch of dirt, you could actually start growing for yourself and other people and start helping the community around you.
Yeah, definitely. People that have the wherewithal and the ability and a little bit of land. Again, think about it now. I have people that come to my mind that. Oh, thank you so much, Morticia.
Thank you, Miss Morticia. These are crazy times. Hang on to your hats. Okay.
For sure. I mean, I know of some people, for instance, in certain areas where I've lived, and friends and family members that have land, but they're older. They can't work it themselves. But then I know some people that perhaps would be, willing to go and work and plant and stuff. So coming together like that would be good. Coming together like that would be really a great idea. Coming together as a community, like Synchrono says, setting up a community farm project as we speak. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome, brother. Glad to see that. That's what we got to do. Because, we're going to have digital currency. There's going to be nothing but digital currency. You're not going to be able to, give somebody down the street, here's, $5 for some apples or what have you, or, they're going to come over and they're going to do some work on your house and, you're going to pay them, quote unquote, under the table. That's all going to go bye-bye because, they're going to get rid of the cash system with this, thing that we're seeing right now. That's part of this. And it's going to all be digital. So the more we could do to trade and barter, the better. The more we could do to support each other without going through their system, the better we are.
Yeah. And, I mean, we're just a little bit weird enough to actually start doing that something, even if you just don't have too much land. I mean, sorry, it's worth a shot. It's not going to hurt anything. And if anything, maybe you'll start a movement. Maybe you'll help a whole lot of people. Maybe you'll save a life. And, you raise vibrations too, and you're doing the right thing. And, when you don't know what to do, you just do the next right thing. And you can't go wrong with plants. They could always use a little love and a little song and something like that. It's a beautiful thing to do.
It is. Yeah, most definitely. So we should always be thinking about how can we get out of the system, bypass the system. And so they're getting us to be disconnected from each other in one way. But perhaps we could work together when and if we ever get a break, and you could actually, do your proper social distancing, which from the new stats is like 26, 27 feet. So, hey, how are you over there? Good, good. Looks like you're growing some cucumbers. Yeah, got tons of cucumbers. Well, we got some onions in the ground over here. Want to make a trade? Sounds good. I'll leave a bushel over here and disinfect it first, and then you come and leave your bushel over there, and we'll make sure we're 50 feet away from each other.
Yeah, exactly. That would work. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, and so I see universal wages coming, $1,500 per fortnight. We're, as I said, we're going to realize that we've never really been free, not really. And there still are ladies and lords, kings and queens. And basically, you have the upper echelon, which is your kings and queens and your ladies and lords, the aristocracy. And there's the rest of us, and that's really what we still have. It's never really changed, but, we have to band together and support each other. As you go, Raven, wages for half a day's food. Yes, for half a loaf of bread. And so that's what I was doing today, too. I made 2 loaves of bread, cinnamon raisin bread. Anybody like that? And then just a regular loaf. And did that with the grandkids. Well, Cindy's grandkids, but they're adopting me.
They totally adopt. They have him so wrapped around his little finger. It's so cute, you guys. I wonder if he'd let me make video playing with grandkids. It's so sweet.
Well, they were helping me knead the dough and everything and mix everything up together. They were such good little helpers today. They're adorable little 6-year-olds and great kids. Really, really good kids. Such a blessing.
They are. They're really sweet. And, it's always fun to have kids around, too, because you get to watch the latest cartoons for this or that. And speaking of cartoons, has anybody seen, it's on Ice Age, it's a cartoon called Collision Course. Has anyone seen the Comet in that? That's really curious.
Yeah. Everything is just, it's all put out there before it happens. It's all put out there before it happens. Everything. From the movies on down. It's just one big act. They've given us the whole script, guys. We just, when we put it all together, make an EEARTS flag so we could buy and fly. Idea. Thank you, Six Strings. That's a good idea. Okay. And
that's a great idea. Now, Six Strings, thank you for what you sent. You seem to be like really good with artwork, and maybe if you drew something, send a picture, maybe we could work with you and we'll figure something like that out. Sounds like fun. Miss Morticia, cinnamon raisins, sent some over, right? Yeah, if the mail is still going.
Sweetgrass says it's going to be all about what you have, and I think so if they'll allow us to get that point. And there's different things, different timelines that we could end up taking. And I know what they want ultimately is a complete digital system that has to go through them, of course. But I do think that ultimately we're going to be going back to the more of the native ways. And Cindy had gotten that message, that the native ways are going to be the ways that we have to go back to, being in harmony with the earth, showing respect to the earth and everything that is living on it. And not being so abusive, which is what this culture that we has been. It's been just completely abusive to Mother Earth. And we have been like a virus on the earth, and now we have a virus, quote unquote, plaguing us, and so it's just kind of karmic in some ways, even though we understand how that karma was introduced. And I think Nostradamus did talk about that. I think, again, everything is kind of laid out there. So we have to rise above, most definitely, and rise above together.
Super, super, super important to like help continue to pull each other up. And if anyone's like meditating out there and you have family members that don't exactly agree with what you're thinking or saying, and you still want to help protect them and help raise their vibrations, when you meditate, bring them into your energetic field and raise their vibration that way. That works too. There's so many different ways we can do things. If you can imagine it, you can do it. And that's just something that we've been doing with the EEARTS family, quite frankly. We bring you all in and raise your vibration and steady and do all of these things. And I think it's just a really healthy thing to do when it comes to energy, and now's a really, really good time to do it.
So before we close this, let's just take a few moments to focus our love and gratitude into the earth and our healing intentions for the earth, that the earth itself be healed, and that all the life that is still abundant on the earth is able to be restored, and that the powers that have so abused the earth and all the life on the earth be removed from power. And, may the karma that is due in so many ways, may we give our forgiveness to those that have been abusing us, abusing the planet and all the life on the earth. We give forgiveness because as we forgive, we are forgiven. It's kind of like a karmic law. If we let go of the toxicity, we let go of the anger, if we just simply move on in so many ways, it releases it from our cycle. And we know that those powers that be, they just don't have it in them to let love grow in their hearts and to let love flourish. They don't have it in them to have compassion. They unfortunately, at this point, they're still enveloped in nothing but greed and power and ego and every lower vibration. So let's send our love and healing energies into the earth, because as the earth is healed, we will also be healed. It's so important. The earth is ascending and the earth is changing, and we have a choice. We could go with the earth upwards, or we could be shaken off like fleas. And, perhaps the earth changes can be mitigated, perhaps they can be calmed. And maybe there'll be forces of light that will come sooner than later to help in the cleansing of the earth from the true parasites that are upon it. So let's focus our love and attention into the earth itself. And I give thanks for every one of you guys. May you guys be blessed with abundant peace, love, happiness, good health, and prosperity in the most important ways. It's never about numbers in a bank account. It's about love and happiness and sharing time and sharing good experiences with others. So thank you guys for your positive intentions, and thank you for your support.
We do. Thank you guys so much for all of your positive vibes, your positive thoughts, and it comes in and then we're able to give you guys more energy too, and it's like a circuit and it's beautiful.
So thank you guys. God bless. Stay safe out there and have some fun. Have some fun with your family, and especially the little ones if you can. God bless and namaste.
God bless and namaste.